Alright guys, so another week, another Crypt season. Today we'll be talking about the current situation in the Crypt store, which are the characters or the equipment that you should shortlist, which are the characters that you should just go ahead and buy, and which are the characters or the equipment that you should avoid getting. First thing first, as usual, we are starting with the gold characters. Now, if you don't have high-tech Jackie, and if you don't mind spending hearts, I would say that you should consider getting her in any other circumstances, but not in the current case, the current state of the game, because we have the horse stance bug, and we don't really care about power generation. However, if you're watching this, I don't know, 1 year from now, you don't have high-tech Jackie and you have Combat Cup Johnny, he's your main fighter, you should consider getting a copy of high-tech Jackie so that you actually can get the sweet 20% power generation boost. However, if you already have high-tech Jackie, you should avoid getting another copy of her through the Krypt store. Balance Kenshi, you should avoid getting him. He isn't really worth spending 5,000 hearts. However, every single one of you, and I mean every single one of you, should get a copy of Slasher Jason, regardless of the fact whether you already have him or whether he isn't in your collection yet. To be honest with you, if you don't have him, he's going to add great value to you just by unlocking him. He's a dot machine. He has so many bleeds. On top of everything, he's extremely difficult to kill, especially if you have his epic equipment from the Krypt. Again, Fusion 0 of his epic equipment will make him extremely difficult to kill, the perfect tank for the Krypt, and the perfect dot machine. So not only he can tank, but he can also do bleeds and destroy the health of the enemy by simply using special 1, and that's pretty cool. On top of everything said already, he can be very decent tank for, let's say, any type of modifier which is it takes only 1, or any type of modifier that freezes you and you die. Basically, if he gets frozen and he dies, it's not really a big deal. And yeah, very great character. If you don't have him, go ahead and unlock him. If you do have him, again, go ahead and purchase another fusion. When it comes to the diamonds, though, they're not really great. I wouldn't buy Ronin Kitana, I wouldn't buy Circle of Shadow Kung Lao, unless I already have, let's say, an almost complete high-fused Circle of Shadow team. Let's say that you have Fusion 7 Luke Kane, Circle of Shadow, you have Fusion 7, I don't know, let's say Sub-Zero, then it's going to be a good idea to unlock Circle of Shadow Kung Lao. But if you don't have a great Circle of Shadow team, he isn't really worth. Absolutely the same logic applies for Kitana. And Fire God Luke Kane is the only diamond that you should consider, to be honest with you, and that's only if you don't have him unlocked, because he can be a decent support for any type of Elder God, thanks to the fact his passive that gives you fire once you do special attacks. So it's kind of just okay. Nothing special, but you should consider him if you are in the mood for farming. It's not going to be the end of the world just to acquire him once. But if you already have him, I reckon you should avoid purchasing a Fire God Luke Kane. When it comes to the equipment, you should avoid the Power Glove, you should avoid Gold Helper Kitsune. I mean, it's a very situational item. In certain situations it can be good, but generally it's not really amazing, and you should go ahead and buy the Time Traveler's Arm Cache. Even if we agree that the things that this item is giving when it comes to the 50% chance to gain strengthened and each next special attacks deal 5% more damage, it's not really great, it's not horrible, but you should definitely buy this piece for the 150% damage boost in the Twisted Tower. Twisted Tower is one of the hardest towers in NK Mobile, so getting an epic weapon is super useful. Now, if I have to summarize the video in a nutshell, you should go ahead and buy Slasher Jason. It doesn't matter whether you have him or you don't have him. He is one of the very best golds in the game, definitely an S tier. And you should go ahead and buy Time Traveler's Arm Cache. And if you're in the mood for farming, I mean, getting another rare weapon would always be useful. So I would consider getting God Helper's Kitsune, even though it's not really that great. And at the end of the day, if you are in the mood for a total farm, I would also recommend to get a copy of Fire God Luke Kane. Alright guys, this is going to be all from me today. Have an amazing rest of your day and take care.